So let me start off by welcoming my colleague, Neema Kawe, who will be talking about changing poor donkey handling practices in Mwea, Kenya.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Neema Kawe, as I've been introduced. I'm a community development officer working with the Brook East Africa, and I'm here to present to you a paper that we've done with my colleagues, Ruben Kikwatha and Laura Kavata, whom you'll have a pleasure of meeting in a few minutes' time. And I'm here to talk about changing donkey whipping behavior in Mwea, Kenya. And as I mentioned before, I work with Brook East Africa, which is an affiliate organization with Brook Hospital for Animals in the UK. And as the name suggests, we work in East Africa region, focusing in majorly Kenya as a country. We also have small initiative funding small projects in Tanzania. We have Somaliland, and we foresee an expansion to South Sudan, focusing on working equines, basically working donkeys and horses. In Kenya, currently we are working through partnerships with organizations to reach out to 300,000 working donkeys. And one of our oldest partners, they're called KENDAT, Kenya Network for the Dissemination of Agricultural Technologies, who they have been implementing a donkey welfare project in Mwea, Kirinyaga County in Kenya. And they have been working in Mwea for the last 10 years or so, addressing various donkey welfare issues, including poor body condition score, various wounds in the animals' bodies, and hoof issues. But despite some welfare improvements, whipping, which mainly causes pain and fear in the donkeys, has been handling and driving technique for most donkey owners and users in Mwea. And it's still a very major commonplace for the owners. The KENDAT staff have been using various conventional community engagement approaches that would include trainings with the owners, sensitization meetings, and meetings with the community members so that they can be able to highlight the negative effects of whipping on the donkeys. But it hasn't bore so much fruits in terms of addressing this negative human practice. The picture that you're seeing is a typical example of a donkey owner in Mwea, how they usually control and drive their donkeys as they go about their business in terms of getting an income. Mwea is a commercial town, so they use their donkeys to either fetch and transport water, buy rice and transport them to suppliers or willing buyers. And you would see this particular person with a whip. I don't have a pointer, sorry. With a whip that has a stick and a rubber whip at the end of the stick. And he would really whip the donkey so that the donkeys can run faster or work harder. And that's something that we are trying to address with the KENDAT staff. So what we managed to do was to have a sit down with KENDAT and launch a 6-month rapid result initiative that was conducted from June to December 2015 that involved various key stakeholders. And this mainly involved some representations from donkey owners and users from Mwea. We had the judiciary, the magistrate from Mwea coming into the meeting. We had the Kenya Police. We had the Kenya Society and Protection and Care of Animals. We also had representation from the community, business community people, and KENDAT staff. And the major key action points for this forum was to develop and implement group bylaws that discourage donkey whipping. We also had the enforcement of existing national animal protection law, that is the CAP 360, basically talking about prevention of cruelty against animals, and sensitization of business community to be good donkey welfare ambassadors. and also profiling of donkey whipping through various media that includes audio, print, and visual to the general public. An assessment, which was basically done through observation, was done in June and December that checked on the type of whip the donkey owners mainly used, the frequency of the whipping, and the reasons why the donkey owners were whipping the donkeys. As I mentioned before, one of the action points was to enforce the Animal Welfare Protection Law, and this is one of the donkey owners who was arrested by the police officer and a member of staff from the Kenya Society and Protection and Care of Animals. And this is it was done during one of the operations in Mwea, where the donkey owner was arrested and he was arraigned in court and he was charged around 2,000 Kenyan shillings, which is an equivalent to $20 US. And he was also told to do community service for the next 3 months. So for the data collection, we had sampled 100 donkey cart drivers, randomly sampled in June 2015, prior to the start of the initiative. And the results comparing the 2 months, that is June 2015 and December 2015, indicated that the whipping frequency decreased significantly. As you can see, in June, it was about 19%, but in December, it came to about 9%. And then the type of whip that the donkey owners used before the key action points, we would see that 25% used the rubber whip, but when it came to December, most of them, they were using a softer material, and that would be sisal, which increased significantly. So as a point of discussions, what came out was that rubber whips were replaced with softer sisal rope by owners as a result of raised community awareness. Many donkey owners also stopped whipping and instead used the whip to guide the animals where they were working. And then the enforcement of the National Animal Protection Law and use of group bylaws contributed most to the successes observed. So going forward, as a result of this initiative, we are still going to use multiple approaches, and stakeholders are going to be involved in terms of using the law enforcement unit at the county level to ensure that donkey owners are not contravening the animal welfare law. We're also going to continue engaging with the local business owners for them to be good welfare ambassadors. We are also going to continue using various media that would include the print, the audio, and the visual, and also build capacity in appropriate handling and driving techniques of owners and users. Brook East Africa, we have a slogan that says Mtunze Punda Daima, and special acknowledgements goes to Mwea donkey owners and users. We have KENDAT, government agencies, animal welfare organizations, including Donkey Sanctuary Kenya and Kenya Society for the Protection and Care of Animals. Thank you so much.